welcome back to the Three Stitches podcast. I am your host for this Thursday, late morning-ish. For you guys, it'll be Friday. But, this is episode either 137 or 138. It depends. If Mom Podcasts and uploads sometime today, well, yesterday for you guys, then it'll be episode 138. But if not, it is 137. Okay, I'm just going to go back on bed now. Oh, bugger. My desk, I've come to realize in the last few days, is totally not big enough. It really isn't, especially since I've got like a bajillion projects going, and I've got stuff that I got to show you, and of course it did show up on a Monday, so I had to keep shuffling it around for the past 4 days. Yeah, something like that. But, yeah, so I don't have room on I don't even have room on my desk right now for my planner, so that's why I got thrown on the bed. Thrown on the bed. Yes, I can conjugate verbs properly, I promise. Move that over there. Got too much stuff. Alright, so, this week, before I start in or continue in, I'm living in a dorm, which means that there will be extraneous noise, whether it be construction, which I don't think so, because I think they're done outside my window. Fingers crossed. I've got suite mates, my roommates at class, but there will be people walking up and down the hall. It's just, expect anything and hopefully nothing will happen. You never know, we could have a fire drill right in the middle of this. I can't plan for that. It would be kind of funny. Kind of. Okay, so, this week, been an absolutely nuts week. All weekend, I got 2 things done. I was studying for my physiological psych exam, which was absolute murder. And then I was coding for my research project. Well, I say my research project, but the research project that I'm working on. And I got a lot of coding done, and then I didn't get anything else done until yesterday, Wednesday for you guys. But my physiological psych exam, oh man, that was insane. It really was. I took it on Tuesday, and I sit with 2 other people who are so much smarter than I am. It is insane. Like, the class that I took with Alice beforehand. Oh, I got an itchy eye here. I took cognitive psych with her, and, I did well. I got my A. It wasn't by the skin of my teeth, but it wasn't like I did stellar. It wasn't like, I had above the point level. But, the tests were out of 40 points, and with the extra credit, she was getting 40s, 42s. It was nuts. And so the girl on my other side is always the same way, really, really smart. And Alice, not surprising, got an A. Not surprising at all. But what did surprise me was, I checked my grade. She had posted on Facebook, and I'm like, oh man, now I've got to check. I don't want to check, but I have to, because she had posted on Facebook after we took the exam that she's like, oh my gosh, I think I just failed it. And I'm like, well, if you think you failed it, then I must have gotten the only points I got were for my name, something like that. So I checked, I got my A. Never been so happy to see an A in my life. And then the other girl didn't get the A. So I'm like, you know what? I feel proud that I got an A on my physiological psych exam, but I feel even more proud that I beat a smart kid. I know that sounds terrible, but hey, chalk that little win in my corner. But, yeah. So, that's basically been the whole stress for the week. And, I've had the little stuff going on, like the online quizzes for some classes and online lectures, which I have totally let slip, but I have to catch up with that over the weekend. I've got papers to write over the weekend, so it's going to be a fun weekend all around. But, so I didn't get much knitting done over the weekend. I've gotten, 1 or 2 rows done, here and there. Just nothing too great to write home about. Honestly, really. But, before I start in, well, on my actual project, the reason why you're actually watching, but I got a tidbit of news last night, and I almost didn't get it because it went into my spam folder, and I just clicked mark all, and they're like, do you want to delete all these? I'm like, oh wait, no, I need that one. So, whew, that was close. It's really close. But I got accepted into the Spring Academic Showcase, which I applied to because I'm doing research, and on my syllabus for my independent study, it was put on there that I will have to. I mean, have to is a strong word, but if I can, I should do one of these. So it kind of read into you have to if you get accepted. Kind of thing. We have to try for it. So I applied before spring break, and I finally heard back that I will be one of 5 oral presenters. And out of the 110 people that applied, there are 2 different types of presentations. You can do a poster presentation or an oral presentation. And out of the 110 people, 105 are doing poster presentations. So I'm definitely in the minority. But yeah. So I will be doing that on April the 11th. Yeah, so that's all my little bit of news. You can tell how exciting it is here because, getting into that was like, oh my gosh, it was great news. It was awesome. Yeah, I need a life. But, yeah, so my knitting. The reason you guys are all here. I guess I'll start with this because it's sitting on my desk. This was my project over the weekend, which culminated in a grand, maybe 3 rows. But when you guys saw it last, I had, one sec, pattern is here somewhere. Nope, not that one. Here it is. All the way at the bottom. Of course, because I needed it. I was on row 57, I want to say. Yeah, I was finishing up row 57. And currently, I am... Okay, I'm in the middle of a pattern now. I'm in the middle of row 74. So I'm going to go with, that's a lot of progress. Surprisingly, a lot of progress. Because math is not my strong suit. Especially not voluntary math. And I was about to show you a picture of the chart. Ooh, yes. Alright, so it is getting increasingly difficult to show you guys. As you can see, there's how many stitches I have on my needle. Should probably bump it up to a bigger circular, but yeah, probably not. Alright, so trying to attempt to show you guys without losing stitches. Yeah, so maybe that's not going to happen. Oh, I'm getting this big mesh diamond in the middle. Good to know. Like one of those things where it's you're looking at the pattern, you're going one row at a time, and then you look back at it, and you're like, oh look, there is a pattern there. That's the moment I'm at right now. I'm looking, I'm like, oh look, so that's what I've been doing the whole time. Alright, especially because the charts, now that they've gotten big, you only see half of it, and then you just ignore the stippled row, as I call it, this little textured row right here, or textured stitch, excuse me, and then you just do that one again and work back, which for the first few rows totally threw me off. It really did. But yeah, there's no real good way to show you. But yeah, so that's what it's looking like. This is the Flothering-Gale shawl, and it technically is a shawl, although for me it's going to be a blanket. That's kind of what it's looking like. Yes, it is by M. Mario Knits, and alright, I'm going to put this down before I lose stitches. It is the Flothering-Gale shawl, and I am doing it, as I've said the past few weeks, in the Red Heart Super Saver, and I have to say, it is much softer than Red Heart used to be. I don't know what they did, but if you go in our stash at home, you can find some of the old Red Heart that's much scratchier, and you feel the new Red Heart, you're like, huh, these can't be the same yarn. But they are, technically. And it is in one of their super massive wazoo skeins, very floppy, with 744 yards in it. Yeah. Alright, so that is my Flothering-Gale shawl. and under the bed it goes. Hey, look, I got a desk. I can actually see some of it now. I put this in here because it's been bugging me. Because I had to put stitch markers in my shawl, and so I just had this little container that the stitch markers came from, just hanging out on my desk. It's just stuff like that. Like when you have a really crazy week, I just don't have time to do that little, like, picking up stuff. Like I got a random twisty tie sitting on my desk because I had to charge batteries, and I took it off the wrapped up cord. It was just sitting on my desk. Yeah. And I have papers that I got back from class. Oh, and the meeting that I went to on Friday, yeah, the papers I got from her are still sitting on my desk. They're not someplace safe. They're not, in a desk drawer. So when I need them, I can get them. Nope, they're sitting on my desk. Yeah. All right. So back on the stack of papers. All right. So my other projects. For the first time, like ever, I've had to go to a 3 knitting bag system. I used to be in a 2 knitting bag system, where I have one sitting like right here between my roomie's refrigerator and my desk, where my sneakers usually sit here because I'm too lazy to walk them back over there. So their permanent home is right here by my desk. Because usually when I go for breakfast, I'm sitting at my desk. So shoes are right there. And if they're not sitting there, then I'll just go put on slip-ons. And I should probably wear sneakers. Campus is big, so if I'm going to wear my sneakers, they've got to be sitting right there. And if I'm going to wear sneakers, I got to make sure to bring a pair of socks over here, which I should technically make my sock drawer just a drawer in my desk, but I haven't gone that far yet. But sitting next to my sneakers is usually always a knitting bag, and that's the stuff that I'm working on my desk, which used to be 1 project, and now technically it's 4. I know, bad me. But I usually have like 1 or 2 projects in 1 bag right here, and then in this bag, hit myself with it, or sometimes this bag, which is empty but it's sitting on my desk. Again, sitting on my desk for absolutely no good reason. So now it's sitting on my bed. And instead of cleaning off my bed before I go to bed tonight and putting stuff away, it'll just get put back on my desk probably. It will. Yep. But I usually have another knitting bag, which is usually smaller, for my school knitting project. But now I've had to move to a 3 knitting bag project, a 3 knitting bag system. So I have one by my desk, which usually has like 1 or 2 projects in it. I have my school knitting bag, and then I have my auxiliary knitting bag now, which has 2 other projects in it, which, honestly, I haven't touched since last week. Ooh, I feel so bad. Well, for one, I don't feel too bad, because I haven't knit on it since I got back to the dorm, because it is my even star, and ooh, that's really squishy. This is my second skein, by the way, so it's like one of those things where it's like, oh look, it's not that dense anymore. I've actually been using some of it. Yeah, because when you cake them up, or what appears to be a cake, when you like wind them up from a hank, you don't notice that the ball's getting smaller because you're not winding from the outside. Well, at least I'm not. I pull from the center. But I kind of felt like a flight attendant, okay? Where it's like, to use your skein yarn, pull from the center. Yes. Ooh, very wacky this morning, or today. It's not really this morning anymore. It's 10 o'clock. Or 10:30, excuse me. But it doesn't look any smaller until you go, oh, it's empty in the middle. All right. So I have not gotten any farther. I am currently stalled on row 26 because doing the knit along is Nib Little, Katie Jo, or my 2 co-hosts, as you guys more commonly would know them, and Jackie Knits. So they haven't had much time to work on it, and I know Mom's at the same spot I am, so we're both stopped, and the other 2 are trying to catch up to us. So it's just been, sitting in my auxiliary knitting bag, just looking at me longingly, like, you want to pick me up again? I'm like, no, I can't, honey, sorry. I apparently have conversations with my knitting. Apparently. Maybe that's why my roommate looks at me with funny looks. Sometimes, / most of the time. But that is my even star. And since it's the same spot as it was like 4 weeks ago, maybe not that long, maybe 3 weeks ago, 2, maybe, yeah, 3. I won't show it to you guys because again, it's very hard to show you guys progress. But my other, come on, get up there. Alright, sorry about that. My other not worked on project is my Henriette shawl. And as I said last week, this has been incredibly modified. I should probably make a pattern page for this on Ravelry, just so you guys know exactly what I did. Since it's a free pattern, you don't have to worry about, you know, me breaking copyright or all that kind of stuff. So, alright, sorry. So this is my Henriette shawl at the exact same spot as it was last week. And I'll make a pattern page for it so you can see everything that I did. But if you look at it closely, you can probably figure it out. But, yeah. So I'm still on skein 1, technically. And I'm thinking that since today is Thursday, I have an hour-and-a-half break between classes where I go chill at the library and do nothing but sit and knit and listen to Monty, the MP3 player. And I probably thought I should clear that up because I don't have a friend named Monty, and I wouldn't listen to him for just a whole hour-and-a-half unless he was incredibly interesting, which a guy named Monty probably really isn't. But I guess it would depend on the guy named Monty. Yeah. Alright, so, again, total tangent there. Yeah, lost my train of thought there. I was going to say something about the state of caffeination that I'm in, but I'm normally caffeinated today. I had my tea before I went to the computer lab, so, yeah, I almost skipped it, and then I was sitting there, and it was like 8 o'clock, and I usually leave around 8:30, and it's like 8 o'clock, and I'm like, you know what, I was feeling good, but nope, time for caffeine. I headed to the tea kettle. Yeah. It was like one of those moments where I knew I wasn't going to get anything done the rest of the day if I didn't. And I do enjoy tea, so it's not like anyone was trying to twist my arm there. But okay, my other project, my other project, yeah, is my, yeah, apparently I'm not coordinated today either. Oh, bugger. And I'm, of course, in the middle of a row. Of course. You'd expect no less from me. I'm trying to figure out what part of the row I'm on. See if I can, no, I can't finish it up real quick. Because this is, oh, it's a pattern row too. Yeah, so this is not going to get finished up before I start talking about it. So, I'm in the middle of a row. But since I'm only 5 stitches in, I will stick them back on the other needle so you guys can see. This is, sorry. So much for, I'll just easily stick it back on the other needle. But, this is the, I'd say the Monty scarf. But they are just the same color. I never realized that until now. Makes me look very coordinated. But, last Thursday, during my, library excursion, this was the project I brought. So I got a whole lot done. I mean, a whole lot done. That's because I was sitting there doing nothing except knitting and listening to Monty. So, of course, I got a lot done. Despite the fact that some random person walked up to me and was like, hey, would you take a survey for me real quick? And I'm like, sure, it's not like, you know, I'm in my own little world listening to music and knitting, you know, minding my own business, but sure, yeah, I will. I must have that look on me. Like, no matter what, like, in the computer lab yesterday, I was, yes, I was on the instructor machine, but that's the only machine that has the software that I need. So I'm just, you know, minding my own business. I've got Guns N' Roses in my ears, and, you know, I'm in a groove. You know, I'm coding like a mad woman, and this person, the student, like, walks up to me and goes, hey, can you help me cite this for MLA format? And I'm like, sure, because I use MLA on a daily basis, yeah, sure, yeah. So I spent, sorry. So I spent 15 minutes trying to figure out MLA style so I could show it to some other person who had no idea. So, one of two things can happen. Either I told her the right thing, she gets an A on the paper, and there's no awkwardness if we ever meet again, or she fails the paper and I severely hope that we never meet again, or she doesn't recognize me, because then I get the, well, you told me how to fight it and I got that wrong. Yeah, that's the last thing I want. But nevertheless, I did get a whole lot done on my scarf. Yeah. And so, sorry, this is the Triad Scarf by Susan Pandorf. She is also the person that designed the Even Star. And here's the pattern. It's got these little pretty little hearts. And I've been working on this since before spring break. And I've been working on it almost consistently before my French class for the past for at least 3 weeks, maybe 4 weeks. And never fails. Always one person will come up to me, oh, what are you making? Oh, I'm, making a scarf. For once, everyone asks, like, I can be knitting a sweater, and they'll say, oh, are you knitting a scarf? Yeah, maybe a scarf for an elephant, but yeah. But, so for once I can say, oh, I'm knitting a scarf, and they're looking at it, and they're like, oh, is there a pattern to it? I'm like, yeah, see, look. They're like, I didn't know you could do that. Wow. Okay, then. But it has gotten long. How many repeats I have done, I have absolutely no idea. It's gotten to, well, when I'm sitting down, it's right about at my hips. So, yeah, so I'm at the point where if I run out of yarn now, it's not the end of the world. My needles are clanking everywhere. But, as you can see, I still have a whole lot of yarn left. Although this kind of demonstrates my point from last time. It looks, well, as a note does, it looks kind of like a full skein, but then you're like, ooh, squishy. Yeah. Whew. It's been a long week, as you can tell. But, yeah, so I'll just knit until I run out of yarn. I'll probably have enough for a mini skein for Mom, a mini skein or two for her hexapuff blanket. So, yeah, so that is my Triad scarf. And I'm hoping to get it done soon because, it's an easy enough pattern, I've got it memorized, but it's a hassle to knit on in public because I don't like knitting with this whole long scarf dangling from my needles because it puts weight on the needles and it's hard to knit on. But it always looks dorky if I have to, throw it over my shoulder because when I throw it over my shoulder, it hits the middle of my back. Yeah, very odd. Alright, so. Okay, probably should have thrown that on the bed. I'll throw this on the bed then. Because, oh, bummer. I just thought about that. Instead of putting the product back in the bag and throwing it on my bed, no, I had to separate them. Man. But, and also, since I've been throwing stuff on my bed all podcast, I have covered up all the stuff that I had to show you guys after this next project. Ooh, brilliant me. Brilliant me. But, out back. This project has really proven to me that the big sweater bags, the large Lois bags, are a godsend. This is a knitting my bag, and I got it for Christmas. And it does. When I got it, it doesn't look big. It really doesn't. It looks short, but this thing could swallow the Hindenburg. I'm not joking there. I can fit my sweater in here and still have room to spare. I know, right? So, huge props going out to Lois. It is. It's the TARDIS of bags. It really is. Alright, so, this monstrosity is my sweater. And, of course, I'm in the middle of a row. Oop, there's your hair there. You can tell I've been stressed because my projects are very hairy. Very hairy. But, I actually have gotten to work on this, and this was my project on both Tuesday and Wednesday, because I actually want to have some progress to show you guys, and I'm actually surprised myself at how much I've gotten done. Okay, you guys do have to realize that there are currently 314 stitches on this needle. So, I may get a lot of stitches done, but rows, not so much. So, I've gotten about, let's see here, where's my stitch marker? Because of the way the pattern was written, I had to keep track of how many rows since I joined everything together. Yeah, very weird. I've gotten 7 rows done in 2 days. Woo, big whoop, I know. Yeah, it doesn't look like much. Just a big monstrosity of worsted weight yarn. But this is the Woodburn cardigan. That's the name of it, the Woodburn cardigan. And here's the cable. And I mean, there's cables down the back and down the front and down the sleeves. And the pattern is by Carol Feller. I remembered. And I am doing it in. All right. Whew, I should probably find a new skein of yarn soon, because that's getting really, really small. This is, well, actually it's been wound up from the skein, but it is, I love this yarn in the terracotta colorway. Yes, that's it. I mean, it's a Hobby Lobby acrylic, but I love this yarn. I really do. And I mean, I'm not just saying that because that's the name of it. I really do. It is my go-to yarn for an acrylic sweater, because I abuse sweaters. I really do. I mean, they just get, thrown on before I go somewhere, and I can't take a wool sweater everywhere. I mean, I'd like to, but if I wear a wool sweater, I will either snag it on something, or I'll spill something on it, or it'll rain and I'll smell like a wet sheep, which, trust me, not fun, especially in Houston. I mean, in El Paso, that wouldn't be a problem, because yeah, it never rains. Never ever rains. Kind of like Southern California, apparently, according to the song. But, yeah, so, I mean, I usually just go with an acrylic, and I can just throw it in the washing machine. And I could throw it in the dryer, but I get a whole lot of static. But I have before. Yeah, that was a whole lot of static. And it didn't help that I tried to wash all my projects at once. Like, there was like one laundry load where I had like all of my washable socks. I had this super mess. Oh look, there's a skein of yarn in there for my sweater. I guess I don't need to find one. I found one. And then, oops, I'll just get thrown in the load bag, because there's room for it. But I had this super massive shawl, which is a 3-paneled shawl that I did a while ago, and it stays on my desk for when it's cold. And I mean, I can wrap up about like 12 times in it. So, it's super massive, which, by the way, is a technical term. And the amount of static in that dryer, whew, that's crazy. That was really crazy. So, I should never do that again. And now I wash a pair of like washable socks, like one pair at a time in every laundry load, so I have like this rotation going, and so it's not that. I mean, I think every hair on my body stood up on end for about 3 days afterwards. There was that much static. All right, and I can't use dryer sheets because I'm sensitive to the to all the stuff in it and the perfumes and such. So yeah, just my luck, right? But sorry, gotta put this back in this bag, because if I throw this on the bed, I will never find anything. Get back in that bag. All right, so. All right. Goodness. All right, so give me a sec. I'm gonna be out of here for just a sec. Fall over. Not a good idea. Sorry about that, guys. My camera's, decided to stop recording to tell me that I've hit 29 minutes. So, as I was saying, trying to think of the best place to kind of like segment back in here. But I have never run that fast to where I pick up packages. There's a building, since I'm in the quad, there's 4 dorms and a building in the middle, which is where they have like the residence life people, and they have a computer lab. There's like nothing. Oh, then there's mailboxes, and there's just random stuff in there that I don't think is useful, but hey, they got a whole building for it. Woo! But, so I picked up my package, and inside it was a whole bunch of stuff. I got 2 sock yarn kits, And the first one is the Regia tweed. And the sad thing is when I got the package, I opened it up and I'm looking at it and I'm like, I know exactly what I want to do with both of those kits. Here's like this cream color with the tweed in it, which I love. You know what, I'm a big tweed fan, I just never buy it for myself, which is terrible. I mean, they have, I know the lovely Amanda of the No Makers podcast, she's a big yarn dyer. I love all of her yarns, I really do. But she introduced a tweed base a little while ago, and she puts a bunch of colors on it, and I love it. But, and there's a brown tweed. So I know what I want to do with these. I was looking at it, I'm like, I don't want to do stripes. And I figured out, well, I thought, and this can change, and it probably will. But I'm going to do one sock with a brown toe, and a brown heel, and a white body of the foot. And I'm going to do another sock with a white toe, a white heel, and a brown body of the sock. Yeah. Kind of cool. Well, at least I think so. Because I've realized that if I don't want my socks to match. I mean, wait. No, there. It's in my closet. But last semester I did the Wild and Crazy socks, which none of the toes or the heels matched. I mean, I had one toe one color, and another toe another color, and another heel a third color, and the fourth heel, well, the second heel, fourth color. And I love them. I really do. They're my favorite pair of socks. Yeah. Alright, so there's that. And then I got these, which I didn't realize this when I saw it on Clerk, but this Regia has silk in it. And I opened it up, I saw it said like silk on there. I'm like, oh, silk. I opened it up, I'm like, silk, 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 silk. But, yeah, again, I got some strange looks from my roommate, which I've come to believe are normal. But, so this is, sorry if I say, it is a 55% merino, 25% polyamide. Woo! Really live in the lap of luxury now. And then 20% silk. And I was going to say that the tweed is 70% new wool, 25% polyamide. And 5% viscose. Yeah. But, so I have white, and I have this red color. And I saw this, and I'm like, you know what this is? These are Where's Waldo socks. They are. It looks like the colors from his hat. So I'm going to make myself a pair of Where's Waldo socks. And again, I mean, they're going to be striped. So one sock will start with red, and one sock will start with white, because they can't match. They can't match. Alright, so those are, and these are, they both came from Pattern Works. So, back in their bag. They go. Alright, and now these bags can start going in my stash, which is basically, what's that? I don't know if you can see it. There's a chest of drawers right there, and it's the bottom drawer. That's my stash. The drawer above it is my shawl, and then the top drawer is just random stuff that doesn't go on a shelf. Yeah. That's my organizational schema, just in case you wanted to know. And since when my when my camera timed out, I realized that there was a lot of junk in the background, and I am sorry for that. I mean, most of it's roomy junk, but yeah, but I mean, I thought, you know, when I was setting up my camera, I thought, you know what? I think they'd love a lovely view of her umbrella. You know what? And I thought, you know what? I'll stick that in the background. I know. Sorry about that. All right. So then the other sock yarn, or the other sock yarn. Yeah, my other sock yarn is Toe Footsie, and I know Mom has knit with this before, and she liked it. And so I scored a skein of this, and this has like a white and kind of like a, I don't know what kind of color you describe that as, but it's not quite a brown. It's interesting. And then there's like a black and with like a bit of gray through it. So yeah, So there it is. And it's very soft too. And what intrigues me, well, and I say, yeah, what kind of keeps me curious about working with it is because it's half superwash wool, and then it's 25% soy silk fiber, 22.5% cotton. You know, they give you that extra 0.5 cotton, and then 2.5 of chitin, which is from shrimp and crab shells. Yeah, very interesting. I would never have thought, you know what, I want to work with a yarn that has crab shell in it. Yeah, that's like the only time when crab shell is a good thing. Like whenever, you know, the normal uses of crab, you say, ooh, crab shell, you know, but crab shell. Move it. And then what's really sad is from the 4 different projects worth of yarn that I got, 3 of them I already figured out what I'm going to use it for. And it is very, very sad. But yes, I got the yarn and I pulled it out and I squished it and I went, oh, I know what this is. And I figured out that I have 800 yards of this, so let me pull out a tank of it. This is the Fantasy Naturelle, and it's a cotton by Plymouth yarn, and it's made in Brazil. Woo! I don't know what I was looking at, but this yarn, and I mean I think it might be a bit thick. I'll have to look at what needles that they recommend. Yeah, they recommend size 7, so it might be a bit too big for a shawl. But I looked at it and I'm like, you know what? That's a shawl. And I can't remember the name of the shawl, and I thought it for it. And if I can, come on computer, if I can boot this up real quick, I can look it up because it's in my Ravelry library. And of course, I didn't spell my password right because I'm in a rush. But, Ravelry, let's see if I can talk and type at the same time. Spoiler alert, I can't! So I looked at it, I squished it, and I was like, I think I know what that is. And oh, now I'm looking at my library, I have so many more ideas, which is absolutely terrible. So I'm going to say it's all you guys' fault, because if it wasn't for you guys, I wouldn't have looked it up. The Snuggery Shawl by Jen Lucas. I don't know what it is, but that just kind of screams Snuggery Shawl. And whether it turns out to be that or not, I don't know. Because, I mean, it is, you know, a bit thicker, so it would have to be like a size like 10 needle, especially with my gauge. So, I don't know. But hey, I've got the yarn, and now all I need to do is find a pattern for it. And that thought process that kind of went through my head. Ouch! I cut myself with my own nail. I really need to wrap this up because I'm starting to get into self-harming. That's not a good thing. I guess I'll just leave my computer up since I'm almost done. But, what I was thinking is, I mean, and I saw it in my Ravelry library, I'm like, oh, brilliant. But this would make a nice, like, blanket. Like, kind of like, oh yeah, it's like, sorry, it was like a random itch on my head. Of course I'll have to, like, sit on half of it, but this has been sitting on the back of my chair because it makes a great lap gown. And it is the not the Fotheringhale, but the Out of Cheese. And so I was thinking, yeah, that could make a nice Out of Cheese, or a nice another Fotheringhale, which, you know, I haven't finished the first one, but I'm like, hey, I can do another one. Yeah, mental, I know. But there are all sorts of different, you know, pie shawls, and I have the girasol, so I can always do that. And sorry, I'm surfing the internet and talking to you guys, and that is absolutely terrible. I was looking at Lorio's new warping board. Yeah. Alright. Okay, I'm putting my computer to sleep. Because I'm being rude. So, yeah, I think I'm out of focus. I didn't realize that till now. Sorry about that. I hope I was actually in the camera frame there. Otherwise, I have to record the whole thing again. Alright. So, now that I'm talking about it, I don't know what I'm going to do with this yarn anymore. I want to do the Snuggery Shawl, but it might be too thick. And this is stuff that goes through my brain, so now you've like kind of like an insight into my thought process. And I can go running and screaming into the night because you've had an insight into my thought process. Trust me, sometimes it's not fun being the one being my head, so outsiders knowing is even scarier. So I do apologize for whatever, mental scarring I may have caused. And before I do anything else, or if I, I need to wrap this up because I can't speak anymore. And it's 11 o'clock. Wow. So I'm going to wrap this up because I'm starting to lose coherence. That's proving my point. So, our autism awareness knit along is still going on. For all the rules, check out the Pen, Hook, and Needles podcast. Woo, 2 shout-outs in one podcast. All for you guys. But, so check them out. They have all the rules. They have all the details. So, yeah, again, as I said, check them out. So, before I stick my foot in the mouth anymore, I will sign off. So, I'm Knitting Doink on Ravelry. I am Knitting Doink on Plurk. So come find me, come friend me, come chat with me. Yep. So Mom will see you on... Oh wait, no. I'm thinking of last semester. Catherine will see you on Monday when she gets back from spring break. Mom will see you on Wednesday, fingers crossed. Or you might have seen her yesterday. I don't know yet. So, I guess that's it for me. So, before my roommate comes back from class, which, should be soon. No, not soon, because she gets out at 11:30. Sorry about that. I shall say, have a great week, and I'll see you next week. Bye!